Valkyries coach subtly exposes Caitlin Clark and company's strategy, yet becomes ambiguous on decoding Indiana Fever. For the past couple of years, there has been a huge surge in the WNBA. By now, we are all aware of the Caitlin Clark effect. How just a single player's effect and aura has lifted an entire league is beyond comprehension. While the CC effect is undeniable, there is another new force in the league, the Golden State Valkyries. Their season has surprised many this season. Coming into the league as an expansion team, the expectations are always low during the team's initial years. However, with the ownership group that led the franchise and the market therein, it was certain that they weren't going to be an ordinary expansion team. Led by the outspoken and win-at-all-cost owner Joe Lacob, the Valkyries have broken many barriers in their debut campaign. They lead the WNBA in average attendance, beating teams like the Indiana Fever, who've got Caitlin Clark. They've also become the league's most valuable franchise with a valuation of $500 million. But that's not enough. They're also having an unprecedented debut campaign. Sitting pretty in 6th place in the league with a 10-9 record, the Valkyries are primed to make the playoffs. Led by their all-star Kayla Thornton and a balanced supporting cast, the Valkyries have already made a lot of noise. But while giving players their props is great, the role of Vox head coach Natalie Nakase cannot be ignored. With over 16 years of assistant coaching experience, Natalie Nakase finally got her first chance to be a head coach. As a first-time head coach, and that too of an expansion team, there wasn't much expectation for this year. However, with her deep knowledge of the X's and O's of the game, Nakase has defied the odds. In a recent game against the Indiana Fever, Natalie's coaching acumen was on full display. Her game plan helped the Valkyries get an 80-61 win. Speaking to the media after the game, the coach gave coy hints towards her plans to explore the Fever's game plan. She said regarding the Valkyries' defensive strategy, study how, Indiana, they're getting their paint points. Amazing game plan. Credit to our defense. We played team defense tonight, credit to our players being coachable. When we're connected, team defense usually ends in good result. Giving a subtle spoiler for the rest of the league on how to stop Caitlin Clark and company. Interestingly, this was the Valkyries' second straight victory over the Fever. This also means that they now have the head-to-head advantage should they end the season on a tied record. When asked if she has the Fever figured out, Nakase made sure to explain that playing the game the right way is the only way to success. Speaking during the same presser, she said, "I don't think you ever have figured out. You always have to respect the opponent. When you cheat the game will cheat back. We control our own destiny. As long as we stay focused on that, we will be successful." While it may be a little ambiguous to hear, Coach Nakase's mantra seems to be working for the Valkyries. Beating a team like the Indiana Fever might have been a fluke, but beating them twice in a row is not. Moreover, in both games, the Valkyries have kept Caitlin Clark quiet, which in itself is a big ask. Caitlin Clark has a quiet return game after injury. Caitlin Clark's entry into the WNBA has been electric. The NCAA all-time record scorer kept true to her reputation and followed up her electric play in college onto the professional stage. After breaking numerous records and leading the Indiana Fever to the playoffs, the expectations were sky-high for CC's sophomore season. However, injuries have played a spoilsport so far this season. The first injury came on May 24th against the New York Liberty. She suffered a quad injury, which resulted in her missing the next 5 games. Just when the fans thought she left the injury bug behind, a month later, she was injured again. This time, a groin injury. This injury forced her to miss the next 4 games, including the Commissioner's Cup final against the Minnesota Lynx. Caitlin Clark marked her return from injury against the Golden State Valkyries on July 9th. However, in her return game, Caitlin Clark was bottled up by the Valkyries' team defense. She was only able to manage 10 points on a 4-12 shooting night. Interestingly, this isn't the first time the Valkyries have managed to stop CC. In their previous meeting, they limited Clark to 11 points on a 3-14 shooting night. Was it just a fluke again, or does the Valkyries coach, Natalie Nakase, really have the Indiana Fever all figured out? One thing is for sure, the Golden State Valkyries have turned a lot of heads this year. If not due to their fan attendance and engagement, then with their impressive play and record as an expansion team.